Assalamu alaikum students. Today we will discuss determinants and its properties because I feel that most of the students of different levels, even BSc or MSc level students, they feel some hesitation or they have some confusions to solve determinants and problem involving determinants. But after this video, I hope that you people will be able to solve problems involving determinants of any order. We have the very first property related to determinant is that determinant of a matrix is always equal to determinant of transpose of that matrix. I explain this property through an example. For example, our matrix A is given as 1, 2, 3 and 4, and for this matrix A, the transpose of this matrix will become 1, 3, 2 and 4. Now we are interested to calculate the determinant of A and then determinant of A transpose, and from this matrix you see that the determinant of A will be equal to this will be equal to 4 minus 6, and the determinant A is computed as minus 2. Now we calculate the determinant of A transpose, and the determinant of A transpose, it will be equal to 1 into 4 minus 2 into 3. So it will become 4 minus 6, that is minus 2. So from the example, students, you have seen that the determinant of A is equal to determinant of A transpose. So this was the first property. Now we move toward the second property of the determinant, and in second property it is given that determinant of A will be 0 whenever any two rows become equal, or this property is also hold whenever any two columns become equal. Now we explain this property with the help of a simple example. Here we take A matrix as 1, 2, and the second row is also same as of first row. So here you see that the determinant of this matrix A is 0. Similarly, you can also apply the second rule whenever two columns are equal. So from this example we see that the first column, which is 1, 1, is same as the second column, which is 2, 2. So from this example both the properties are being held. Now we move towards the third property of the determinant, and in third properties we see that determinant of A is 0 whenever any two row or any two column become 0. Sorry, not two rows or two column, any row or any column, whenever it becomes 0, then in this case determinant of that matrix will be 0. For example, we take A matrix as 1, 2, then the second row we take as 0, 0. So in this case when we compute determinant, then we see that the determinant is computed as 0. Similarly, you can take the matrix A like this. Now in this case you see that the second column of this matrix A is 0. The complete column is 0. So when you will calculate the determinant of this matrix A, again you will see that the determinant of this matrix again will be calculated as 0. Now very important property that now we will discuss is the number 4 property, and in number 4 property we see that whenever our matrix A is given in upper triangular or in lower triangular form, then in this case the determinant of A is very easy to calculate, and the determinant of A can be calculated by multiplying the elements on the main diagonals. For example, we take a very simple matrix A. Here we see that this matrix A is in upper triangular form. In upper triangular form, and as is given in number 4 properties, that whenever matrix A is in upper triangular form, then its determinant can be computed as a by product of the element on the main diagonal. So here we see that these elements are present or lying on the main diagonal, that is 1, 2 and 1. These are the elements that are lying on the main diagonal. So very shortly we will multiply these elements 1, 2 and 1, and after multiplying we will calculate the determinant of A, and it will be equal to 2. Okay, now we discuss property number 6, and in property number 6 it is given that determinant of B is equal to C times determinant of A. What does it mean? It means that suppose we have a matrix B. Suppose we have a matrix B which is given in this form, and here from this matrix B we can take 2 as a common from the first row. This is our first row, and if I take 2 as common, so after taking 2 as common, the new matrix will be given in this form. So I rename this matrix as A. Originally it was matrix B. The number that we have taken common is 2. Now this is actually C. So now it become B is equal to 2 times A. Now if I take determinant on both hand side, then we see that the determinant of B is computed as -9 and the determinant of B is also computed as -9. Now property number 7. Property number 7 defines that if I multiply any row of a matrix with a certain constant C, and after multiplying that row with constant C, and then if I add that product into some another row of the matrix A, then the results of both the matrices will be same. For example, this is our matrix, original matrix. We name this matrix as matrix B, and now I multiply second row by a number 2, and then I add this row in first row. So when I will multiply 2 with this second row, then it will become 2 into 2 4, 4 plus 1 5. So I will get number 5. Then again I will multiply 2 with 1, 2 into 1 2, and by adding with 2 I will get 4. Again 2 into 4 8, then adding with 1 I will get 9. Now property says that multiplying C time with any row Ri of A, add it to some row S of matrix A gives same result. Now this was the original matrix. The results of this matrix is -9, and after multiplying C with second row, we have new matrix, new determinant, and the determinant of this matrix is also -9, and we see that the result is same. Property number 8 says that if A is a square matrix, n cross n means it has n number of rows and n number of columns. This implies that rank of that matrix will be equal to n. N means number of rows. But condition is that determinant of that matrix A must be non-zero. Property number 9 gives that if determinant of a matrix A is non-zero, that is if a matrix A is non-singular, then determinant of A inverse is equal to determinant of A. And property number 10 define that if A and B are two similar matrices, then determinant of A is always equal to determinant of B. To understand this property, we take the example of A and B. Here we see that this is matrix A and this is matrix B, and we see from these two matrices that matrix A and matrix B are similar. So if we calculate the determinant of A and determinant of B, then the result of these two determinants will be equal. Next property is property number 11, and this is determinant of EA is equal to determinant of E into determinant of A. It means that we have two matrices. One matrix is A matrix and another matrix A. Now first we multiply E matrix with A, and after multiplying E with A we will get a new matrix, and now we take determinant of this new matrix EA. It will give us some value, and now individually we first take determinant of E, and then we take the determinant of A. First we take determinant of individual matrix A and then A, and after calculating the determinant of E and A, we multiply determinant of E with determinant of A, and we will see that the results of both sides will be equal. Next property is if A is n cross n matrix, then A is called non-singular matrix. Non-singular matrix if and only if determinant of A is not equal to 0. It means that we have a square matrix whose number of rows and number of columns are equal, and property number 12 says that this A matrix will be known as singular non-singular matrix if the determinant of A is non-zero. Next property number 13, if A is n cross n matrix such that Ax is equal to 0. This is actually system of linear equations, and it will have a non-trivial solution. Non-trivial solution when determinant of A is equal to 0. Ax is equal to 0 mean we have a certain number of equation. This system may be comprising of 2 equation or 3 equations, or this system of equation will have non-trivial system only if when determinant of the matrix A is equal to 0. Next, last property of this determinant, we also calculate determinant of higher orders with the help of cofactors. So first we will learn that how we calculate cofactor. The formula for cofactor of a certain matrix whose order is ij, mean number of rows are I and number of column are j. So if we are to calculate the cofactor of this matrix, then by formula this is equal to -1 raised to the power I plus j, then determinant of mij. Now we explain that what is m. M is actually the minor of the matrix ij. Minor mean, originally suppose we have a matrix A whose order is n cross n. This is our actual or original matrix, and for this original matrix we have to calculate the cofactors for this matrix. Say first of all we will construct minor of this matrix mij, and this will be a matrix of n minus 1 into n minus 1 order. Suppose this is 3 cross 3 matrix, then corresponding to this matrix A, our minor matrix will become 2 cross 2. So this is actually minor. We will take determinant of this m. With the help of this formula we will calculate cofactors of a matrix A ij.